Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to episode 30 of the Poker Monk vlog. Right off the bat, I'm very excited to announce that the Poker Monk YouTube channel passed 1,000 subscribers this week. I'm really excited about it. This is definitely a big milestone for anybody making videos on YouTube. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am to all the new subscribers and all the people who've been watching the videos for a while. But I especially want to thank all of you out there who shared the video on YouTube, who kind of promoted it on 2+2 and kind of tweeted about the fact that I was looking to get to 1,000 subscribers. All your hard work and retweeting and stuff really helped, and I can't thank you guys enough. This episode is coming out on the last day of June, and I gotta say, I'm super excited about July. I've got a ton of cool stuff coming up in July here on the YouTube channel, but also over on my website at thepokermonk.com and just in my personal life in general. And I'm super excited that I'm gonna be able to share all of that with you guys. So first up, on the very first day of July, I'm going to be starting a 30-day meditation challenge. I'll be talking about it a little bit here on the vlog, but mostly I'll be covering it over on my website. So I'll be writing about it and giving updates on my progress and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, or especially if you've been thinking about meditating yourself and want to join me in the 30-day challenge, that would be awesome. If so, come over to thepokermonk.com and check it out. I'm also super excited about July because on July 5th, I'm having my first session with my new poker strategy coach. He's a great guy who really knows his stuff. He's got a proven track record of success, both in cash games and tournaments and online. And I'm just really excited about getting together with him and starting to kind of transform my game. But I'll make a formal announcement about it and give you guys all the details in next week's episode. In the third week of July, my wife and I will be taking a well-deserved vacation, the first in a very long time. We'll be taking a road trip out to South Dakota to visit my beautiful sister and her amazing family who we haven't seen in quite a while. And I just couldn't be more excited about it. But don't worry, I won't be taking a vacation from the vlog. There is a poker room a short drive from my sister's place, so I'll definitely find time to fit in a session and put up an episode while we're out there. Finally, and I'm really excited about this, some point towards the beginning of the month, I'm going to be starting a new series on the Poker Monk YouTube channel called The Poker Monk Recommends. In this series, I'll make really brief videos talking about books, products, services, pretty much anything that I come across that I think you'll find interesting and useful in improving yourself and making life more fun and productive both on and off the felt. So look for that sometime in early July. That's it for announcements. Thank you guys so much for sitting through that. I hope you're as excited about July as I am, and I hope you enjoy this week's episode of the vlog. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Monday morning. Just having a little breakfast here before I go play a poker session. Having actually a pretty healthy breakfast. I'm having some Brussels sprouts and a grilled chicken breast. I'm kind of a health nut. Anyways, trying to decide where to go. I think I'm gonna go to Maryland Live. I was just checking Bravo here on my phone. Bravo. And it's the promotions for Monday just look so good at Maryland Live. Every 20 minutes, they're giving away $500 for high hand until 5 o'clock. And then from 5 p.m. to 11, it's $1,000 every hour with Royal Flush resets. So I just don't think I can beat that promotion. It's worth the extra half-hour drive. Plus, I need to buy some new t-shirts, and there's a store on the way there that I like to get my t-shirts from. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty exciting day. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna head out to Maryland Live. I'll see you guys there.
Too far away from my hometown. With my family I am back.
Man, I would get to the casino so much faster if I didn't make all these stops along the way. You may not know this, but as a white male in my mid-40s, it's physically impossible for me to drive by a battlefield without stopping. You gotta be who you are, I guess. I love you, Cannon.
Resting on the myth of old. All of the stories I've been told. Secret places hidden well.
All right, we made it to the casino. It took a lot longer than it should have. I seem to make a lot of stops on the way. I should be getting here much faster, but let's go in there and put our name on the list. Taking a break here, stepped over into the mall. It's a little more quiet than it is in the casino, so it's a little easier to talk to you guys. Having not a great session so far. The game itself is really good. There's not a lot of money on the table, but players they're putting what little money they have in the middle with bad hands, so I've just been second best all night. A lot of 10s versus jacks, queens versus kings. One time I got a pair of red aces and ran into a pair of black aces. Luckily we chopped, he didn't hit a flush or anything, but just not having a great game. No big deal though. Still just grinding it out. I think I'm down maybe just short of a buy-in. So hopefully I'll be able to grind it back. Shout out to John, who's sitting next to me in the game. He very subtly let me know that he watches the vlog, which I really appreciate. A couple weeks ago when I was at Hollywood Casino, somebody literally shouted across the room, "There's the poker monk." And man, kind of embarrassing, but thanks John, nice playing with you, man. All right, let's go back to the house and do some hand analysis. Woohoo! In this first hand, I've got a $180 stack on the button, and I pick up pocket 10s. A middle position player makes it 11, the hijack calls, and I call on the button. Looking back on this hand, this might have been a good spot to 3-bet squeeze, but in game I decided to just call. $36 in the pot, and the flop comes 9 of clubs, 6 of hearts, deuce of spades. The middle position player c-bets for $15. The hijack folds, and I call. The villain could be making a c-bet here with a wide range of Broadway cards and some pocket pairs. I'm calling here planning to lead out if the villain checks the turn, call a bet if the turn's not a Broadway card, and just reassess if it is. 66 bucks in the middle, and the turn is the deuce of hearts. The villain bets again, this time $30. Honestly, at this point, I felt a little lost in the hand. The villain seemed pretty strong here, but it felt way too weak to fold an overpair on such a dry board. This may have been a good spot to raise fold. You know, come over the top with a small raise, then shut down if I get any action. But I just felt like I had a ton of showdown value here, and I should just try to get to showdown as cheaply as possible. So I call. $126 in the pot, and the river comes the 3 of clubs. We both check, and the villain flips over pocket jacks. Isn't it strange how it feels so much worse when you lose with like 10s to jacks versus losing with 10s to like kings or aces? As if somehow you were just closer to winning. Silly. But what do you guys think? Could I have played this hand better and lost a little bit less? Or was there just not much I could do here with an overpair on such a dry board, but just try to keep it as cheap as possible and get to the river? Let me know in the comments. All right, hand number 2. Once again, I'm on the button with about $200 in front of me, and I look down to the 7-8 of clubs. It's folded around to me, and I decide to go ahead and try and pick up the blinds and make it 10 to go. This seems like a decent hand to take a stab at the blinds with. It's the kind of hand that I don't mind seeing a flop with if I get a call. The small blind folds, and the big blind with about $90 in front of him, he raises to 20. I'm gonna end up calling here, but I think it's actually a mistake. I probably should have just let this one go. With only a $90 starting stack, I just don't think I'm gonna make enough, even if I stack this guy, to justify all the times that I'm gonna miss with this hand. But like I said, in game, I call. $41 in the pot, and the flop comes 7 queen 8 with 2 diamonds. For this type of hand, can't hope for much more than that. Pretty good flop. The big blind, he bets out really small, only $15. I get the feeling that he feels obligated to c-bet here, but doesn't want to risk his entire stack. So probably a hand like ace-king, pocket jacks maybe. I don't want to lose him, but I do want to bet here in case he hits something on the turn or has a queen in his hand. That way I can try and stack him on the turn of the river. So I make it 35, and the villain, he immediately shoves all in for $55. I'm good with that. Sure, he might have a set here, but I've got blocking cards for the 7 and 8s, so that really only leaves the queens, which of course he might have, but it's just as likely he's got an overpair or some kind of drawing hand. I call and flip over the 7-8, and he shows king jack of diamonds for a flush draw. I get a nice run out with the deuce and 8 of hearts, and we take this one down. All right, in this last hand, I'm in middle position. Again, I've got a $200 stack, and I look down to pocket sevens. Under the gun limps, I raise to 12. The button and big blind call, and the under the gun player calls as well. 49 bucks in the pot, and the flop comes 3 of diamonds, 6 of hearts, 3 of clubs. The big blind, who's only got about $70 in front of him, he donks out 20, I call, and everyone else folds. I don't think the big blind's got a 3 here. If he did, it would be much more likely he would check, hoping that someone would bet, and he could come over the top and get his whole stack in. So I think it's much more likely that he's got some kind of hand with a 6. I hate to put him on such a narrow range, but it just seems like for the play of the hand, a 6 is very likely. So I call, heads up, $89 in the pot, and the turn comes another 3. This is a great card for my hand. As most of you know, it is virtually impossible for a poker player to lay down a full house, especially at these low stakes. So if he does have a 6, it's going to be really easy for me to get him to put the rest of that stack in. But I don't have to do anything. The villain, he immediately pushes in for his last $50, and of course I snap call. So now there's $189 in the pot, no more betting, and the turn comes a brick, the 4 of clubs. To my surprise, the villain immediately flips over pocket kings. Not what I was expecting to see. It seems like a really weird line for him to take with his hand. He had a perfect opportunity pre-flop with all the action to come over the top, get in his entire stack, limit the field, and possibly get a call. The way he played it, he just got 3 callers and really gave everybody an opportunity to suck out on him. Anybody with any kind of ace rag hand would have called there. The flop could have come with an ace. He let in pocket pairs really cheap. They could have flopped a set, so this seems like just a terrible line to take pre-flop. It of course ended up working out for him, but I think it was a big mistake on his part. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hey, I wanted to take a second here and talk a little bit about the 2+2 forums. I've been participating in them a lot more than I used to, and I think they get a really bad rap. There's one vlogger in particular, I'm not going to name his name, but you guys know who it is. He's always ripping it apart, talking about what a hellhole it is and how it's just filled with haters and trolls. It's got haters and trolls, yeah. It's the internet. Everything's got haters and trolls on the internet. But I've just found in these forums, honestly, that for every hater or troll, there's like 20 to 30 great people who just do nothing but are encouraging, give you great feedback. I can't tell you guys how helpful it has been putting this vlog together, having the people in the 2+2 forums giving me all this feedback and encouragement. Yeah, I think I just wanted to take a second and say, you guys are getting a bad rap. I really like the 2+2 forums. I think if you're looking to improve your game, it's probably a pretty good place to start. Man, I gotta start getting up earlier or streamlining the vlogging process or something, because I left this morning at like 10:45. I didn't even get into a game until 5 p.m. And so I only got to play like 3.5 hours. Now I'm leaving, it's like 9 o'clock. So that's a long day for just 3.5 hours or so worth of play. I gotta get my shit together. I think I just gotta get up earlier and not waste so much time kind of shooting vlog stuff on the way, but it's kind of the fun part of the vlog. All right, I'll figure it out. All right, well that's gonna do it for poker tonight. Not a great session. Like I said, I just couldn't get anything going, so ended up being down just less than a buy-in, minus 190. So not a big deal, but it was just kind of one of those bummer sessions. It was a really long day. I'm exhausted. I'm looking forward to finally getting home, just going to bed. But yeah, like I said, no big deal. Just kind of a normal loss there. I've had a little time to reflect on yesterday's poker session at Maryland Live, and I don't think I was being entirely honest with myself about why I had a poor session. Was I getting more than my share of second best hands? Absolutely. But I also wasn't playing my A game the entire session. I think this was a combination of getting frustrated with getting a bunch of second best hands in a row, but also I was super tired from the long drive and all the shooting and stuff I did before I actually got to Maryland Live. So what happened? I started to loosen up my starting standards a little bit. I defended my blinds much more than normal. I chased some draws with questionable drawing odds. Basically, I just started playing hands trying to get lucky. I really need to get out of this results-oriented mindset. My only concern should be trying to play every single hand to the best of my ability. Never should it be trying to win back losses. And I should say, this was all very subtle. I didn't notice this in game. I only notice it now as I've been reflecting on the session. But what I gotta remember, and I gotta keep reminding myself, these little leaks add up. A loose call here, an unneeded blind defense there, they add up. I plug these little leaks in that session, maybe I'll end up losing $100 instead of $190. That could have a huge impact on my win rate. It's definitely something I need to work on. Just wanted to come kind of clean with both myself and you guys about how that session went. Anyways, that's it for this week. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video, and I'll talk to you guys in the comment section. Have a good week, guys.